Good evening, viewers.
Good evening.
So, last couple of summers I've done some track driving with my Peugeot 206 RC that I've already sold by now. And I've enjoyed it quite a lot. It's relatively cheap with a car like that. The set of semi-slicks is 400 euros. Set of decent brake pads is like 200 euros. It doesn't cost that much.
And last summer while driving on the track with you and coaching you a little bit, I noticed that I'm itching to get behind the wheel again. But since it was your car and I drove it too, it would be kind of dumb to put your car into the guardrail and end up paying for it.
So as we shaved the second after second from my lap times and you had a go as well, we came to a realization. The 206 was a car that we didn't want to go 100% in because we didn't want to put it in a guardrail. I wanted to sell the car. And I didn't want to do any irreversible modifications like adding more negative camber to the front. So I guess you can see where this is going.
We needed to buy a car to have some fun, but not too much fun and not get too attached to it, but something that was kind of fairly quick out of the factory gates already.
Nothing too fancy that we wouldn't feel too bad for. Maybe touching a car trail a bit?
We started searching for a suitable car, and after around 1.5 minutes we kind of came across something that was quite interesting.
So when we started looking for a car, we wanted something that would be less than 1,000 euros because we're not swimming in that sweet YouTube money. Yet something more than 160 horsepower and around 1,000 kilograms, not more. What came up is something quite interesting, something that all of us have forgotten. Are you ready? This is it. Yep, it's a 20-year-old Citroën. 1999 Citroën Xara VTS to be exact. Now before you unsubscribe and tell us in the comments how we should have bought an E36, please hear me out. I know there are 3,526 good reasons not to buy a 20-year-old Citroën, but there are also a couple of reasons why you would do so. The first reason is the chassis. In essence, it's the same that you would find in a Peugeot 306 GTI, so the suspension geometry is pretty good for sporty driving, and in addition, the car only weighs 1,100 kilograms from the factory, and the plush interior bits removed, we should be looking at a 900 kilogram car easily. The second reason is the drivetrain. As well as the chassis, the engine is also shared with the more popular 306 GTI. It's a 16-valve, naturally aspirated 2-liter engine with really nice power band, relatively high redline, and a nice Honda-esque soundtrack and induction park. And it puts out a respectable 167 horsepower as well. Instead of going down the normal path of Chinese turbos and 2000 meth-injected horsepower, we're going to make this thing fast and reliable around the racetrack in a different way. Or 3 ways. 1. It's gotta be safe. We wouldn't be comfortable near or beyond the limits of the 20-year-old Citroën if it hadn't got the proper safety equipment. So by feeling confident that we were going to stay in one piece behind the wheel, even if something happens, is the first way to make this car go fast. And number 2, a leaf out of Colin Chapman's book. Add lightness. Everything that isn't absolutely necessary has to go. And number 3, make it handle properly. This can be achieved by sticky tires, coilovers, thicker anti-roll bars, widening the track, adding negative camber, adding solid bushings. Basically whatever it takes to make the car feel confidence inspiring through corners. So, the big reveal, here it is. The left field choice of a track car build. The long-term goal would be to make the car competitive in a proper race series such as Finnish Endurance Saloon class, but that's not possible to achieve for the next season due to our budget and available working hours on the car. But there is a more realistic goal for next summer. Drive the car to the Nürburgring and drive the Nordschleife with it, and that's something we can achieve. A lap time? Maybe something beginning with 8? That would be... There's not too many Citroëns around the Nürburgring, you have to admit.